So number 12 in my list is Universal Robina Corporation, Meralco at number 8. Number 2, we have DMCI, 8.47 pesos per share. Number 4, we have SPC. Number 7, MREIT. Number 10, AREIT. AREIT has gone massively up. Hey guys, so in this video, I want to talk about the top dividend paying stocks in the Philippines, at least the ones that I track, at least the ones that I'm actually monitoring. And I know a lot of you have been asking for an updated list for 2022, and that's what we will do right now. For those who are watching this and you have not seen my previous videos on dividends, what I like about dividend investing is that you already have a snapshot that the company is relatively doing better, that the company is relatively doing well. Even right now, the time we're filming this, we're still not out of the woods. I think we're better off than 2020, but we're still in a position that we're not yet back to 2019 levels. And companies that are giving dividends right now shows you that either they're relatively resilient or their company is really built in a way that revenues are coming in. Because as you all know, when times are bad and the company wants to protect their cash, one of the first things that they'll try to slash is dividends. And we've seen that in some of the companies from 2020, 2021, but the ones that have given out dividends, in my opinion, are fairly resilient, and it gives you a buffer that if they did well when times were bad and they continued to give dividends, how much more as we continue to see the economy start to do better and reopen again. Please do note that while I'm filming this is based on the closing prices of January 31, 2022. That depends on when you're watching this, that the yield by the time you're watching this may change because the price of the stock that you're tracking may also move, which will affect its dividend yield as well. In this video, I'm just gonna make an assumption that it's gonna give the same amount of dividends from last year. So there are some companies that have increased their dividends because they have relatively done better, and the ones that have done better last year may give also higher dividends this year. But this is just assuming that they give the same amount. This is not assuming that there may be certain conditions that some may slash their dividends or make it lower, or some may give even more, or some may be flat in terms of what they have given last year. And for those who have been following me for quite some time, you know my style. I like the dividend yield to be at least 5%. So meaning there may be some here that I may show that their dividend yield is below 5%. What does that mean? It doesn't mean they're a bad company. It probably means that their stock price have gone higher, that if you want to come in from a dividend point of view, then you may need to wait for the stock to correct. You may need to wait for the stock to go lower before you start swooping in again, so that your dividend yield would be close to the 5% mark. You don't have to copy my 5% rule. If 4%, 4.5%, or you are stricter that you want 6, 7% for you, then go. It's just for me that I'm okay with 5% as a benchmark for dividend yield. So again, if what you see here is below 5%, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. It means that if I would purchase them again, if I would add to my positions in those particular stocks, I would have to wait for a correction in the price. And please do remember this, when you're into dividend investing, the lower the stock price is, the better it will be for you. That actually means that you get to buy the stock at a lower price, hence your dividend yield would be higher. And please do note this, that if you're a dividend investor, you have the ability that in downturns, if the cycle is not so good, you have the ability to hold it. You have the ability to wait, because as long as the company is good, you get paid via dividends. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 12, and I'm gonna rank them 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, up until the highest one. While we give you the numbers, I guess I'm gonna give you some commentary as well on the company and my opinion towards it. Again, the stock price is based on the closing prices of January 31, 2022, and the dividends are based on what they gave out in 2021. So number 12 in my list is Universal Robina Corporation at 127 pesos per share. The dividends that they gave out last year was around 3.3 pesos. That's imputing a dividend yield of 2.59%. It's below our 5% threshold, but your narrative here is at the end of the day, people will buy URC products. if you look at the category they're in, a lot of their products are staples of every household. But not just that, they have brand. In the world of investing, in the world of business, brand is everything. So if you're the type of person who likes stocks that are relatively lower, that you know revenues will be there because they have a consumer base, and then bonus if you get a dividend, then maybe this fits, but this is below my 5% threshold. Anyways, number 11, RCR. I had a chance to talk to their CEO last year when they went into an IPO, when they listed last year, and this is truly one of the better REITs out there as well. The stock price as of the time of this recording is around 8.4 pesos per share. By the way, since they listed last year, they just gave out once, and I'm just trying to also simulate that should they give every quarter, similar to what a REIT did, similar to what DDMPR did, that this would be the imputed dividends that they would actually give out. So assuming that they give the same from what they gave out fourth quarter last year, and then multiplying that by 4, for RCR, it's around 0.248, giving you a dividend yield of 2.95. And you may say, 2.95, that's not as attractive anymore. Please do note this, that a REIT, M-REIT, RCR, even Philinvest REIT, their stock price went up. That actually means that if you bought it early, you're not just earning from the dividends that they're giving out, but in terms of capital appreciation, they have gone up a bit. And that's what I've mentioned earlier. When the price is higher, the dividend yield will be lower. Not unless because they have better earnings still in 2021 that they give out a higher dividend yield. Anyways, number 10, a REIT has gone massively up. From the time when they listed, they corrected to where they are right now. The stock price is at 50.65. Again, imputing the same style that I did, 4 quarters gives you a dividend of 1.69 pesos per share, giving you a dividend yield of 3.33%. Number 9, and this has been one of my favorite dividend stocks for quite some time, but they have gone up as well. Globe at 3,110. Please do note that this upward movement was pretty much predicated also on Mint and GCash, that Mint and GCash imputes a higher valuation for Globe. Because of that, seeing it move from 1,800 to around 2,000 last year to around 3,500, it gave it a very, very high upward push in terms of people were buying it because of its connection to GCash and Mint. And here's what's interesting about that. It's really true naman that everyone's using GCash. QR codes are everything right now. People are going cashless, and this whole spiel of me being a fan of cryptocurrencies and digital assets just goes to show that everyone's pushing digital, and a fiat equivalent to digital payments and doing a lot of things in the digital space is GCash. But anyways, for those who are in it for the dividends that they had last year was 108 pesos per share. At 3,110, that imputes a 3.47% dividend yield. So if you're asking, should I still get Globe? Again, it depends on the rules that you have. For me, if I want 5%, I may need to wait a bit for a correction, not unless they would increase their dividends that they would actually give. And what's interesting about that is they would disclose the dividends that they would give, especially for the first part of the year, and it also sets the tone on what they could possibly give out for the next quarters. Another defensive, passive, relatively stable company in the Philippines, Meralco at number 8, stock price is 335 pesos per share. 2021 dividends is 12.88. That imputes a 3.84% dividend yield. Same narrative, their stock price has gone higher. That's why the yield is relatively lower. Number 7, M-REIT. Again, this was also a fun interview last year with Kevin Tan. Very, very prolific and amazing guy, sharing the vision also of where Mega World could be. And what's nice about Mega World also is that they're adding more buildings into their portfolio. Again, as they add more buildings to their portfolio, that means more rental income. As they add more rental income, the dividends also should be higher, given that 90% of the revenue is given out in form of dividends. Basing this at 0.96, should they earn more? I think there's a bigger chance that they could give possibly more than 0.96. But this is what I'll do. I'll update you real time should they disclose more information about the dividends that they're actually giving. So at 22.5 and a dividend of 0.96, that imputes a dividend yield of 4.26%. Now, number 6, part of my stalwarts in terms of dividends, we have PLDT, which has also gone up in stock price from the drop of March 2020. I think intraday, during the drop, it went below 1,000 pesos per share. Right now, it's 1,834 with a 2021 dividend of 82 pesos per share. That imputes a 4.47% dividend yield. Alright, so that rounds up 6 to 12. Let's go to the top 5. Can anyone guess what do you think will be part of the top 5? Put it down below. Don't cheat. I want to know your answers. What do you think are part of the 5 that I've ranked here? Just to give you a clue, we have 1 REIT, we have 1 broadcasting company, 1 energy-related company, 1 conglomerate, and 1 mining company. That should be super obvious already. But number 5, PhilREIT, stock price is at 7.61 pesos per share. Dividends is 0.448. It imputes a dividend yield of 5.88%. Those that are part of the top 5, based on the last traded price of January 31, 2022, they're in my 5% threshold. Number 4, we have SPC. It has been an amazing dividend-paying stock for quite some time already. For those who got into SPC years ago, the stock price not only moved higher, but in spite of it moving higher, the dividend yield that you're getting should be relatively still high, even if you come in at a much later date. Stock price of 14.3, assuming they give out around 1.15 pesos per share, it imputes a dividend yield of 8.04%. Again, this is a very interesting dividend yield because it's above 5%. So I want to say this also, that please do remember that every time you're looking at dividends, if you're not satisfied by the dividends that they're giving, or if they stop giving dividends, or if they slash it in a way that's not anymore attractive to you, by all means, you can replace them and transfer to another stock. Alright, so comment below if you're learning and if this is something that's helping you. It's nice also to talk about Philippine stocks from time to time, and I'm actually enjoying. Comment below if you want me to do more Philippine stock videos again. We'll try to talk more about it as well. Number 3, we have GMA7. GMA7 stock price 14.7 pesos per share. Please do remember that last year this massively went up as they disclosed their earnings were high, predicated on ABS-CBN closing more than a year ago, which a lot of the ad revenue went to them. What's interesting, maybe to look at it for this year's earnings and disclose next year, it's an election year. There will be a lot of election-related ad spending as well. But just assuming dividends from last year, it was at 1.35 pesos per share. That imputes a dividend yield of 9.18 pesos per share. Number 2, we have DMCI, 8.47 pesos per share. Dividends from last year, 0.96. It imputes a dividend yield of 11.33%. And lastly, highly connected to DMCI, Semirara, SCC, 25.05 pesos per share. Dividends from last year's 3 pesos, giving you a dividend yield of 11.9%. Please pay attention to the value of dividends that they will give also for this year, and if it's something still that will be relatively high and satisfactory also for you. Again, please don't buy, sell, hold, or avoid any of the stocks here just because I talk about it. Please take the time to learn. Please take the time to form your own conviction into whatever position that you're getting into. Don't shortchange yourself to buy just because you hear it off YouTube. It's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will work harder for your money more than you. So please take the time to learn about it. Please take the time to research and do your own due diligence, because at the end of the day, that's what will help you gain the conviction when times are murky, when there's a lot of uncertainty also around. So that's basically it. Number 12, URC. Number 11, RCR. Number 10, AREIT. Number 9, Globe. Number 8, Meralco. Number 7, MREIT. Number 6, PLDT. Number 5, Philinvest REIT. Number 4, SPC. Number 3, GMA7. Number 2, DMC. And number 1, Semirara. So I want to know your thoughts. Is there something here that you like? Is there something here that I may not have talked about but they would also give out good dividends as well? Let me know and I'll try to analyze them. I'll try to make more videos off of that. And I hope that this was something that was insightful. It's nice to talk about Philippine stocks once again. Let me know your thoughts. Put it in the comment section down below. For those who want to learn more about technical analysis and fundamental analysis, I have online courses down in the description below. For those who want to learn about bonds, stocks, REITs, Bitcoin, altcoins, and NFTs, I have also a course live which is happening this March. It's also down in the description below, and I hope that for those who want to learn more and diversify into other asset classes, that you can join us there as well. But for those who want to learn via reading, check out my books. They're available via Shopee. Do you guys like dividend investing? Is this something that's appealing to you, or are you the type of person that wants capital appreciation more than dividends? So I guess that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.